I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're exploring the mysteries of past lives and healing with a terrific author. Her name is Alla Kaluzhny, and she has written two powerful books. The original book is called Turning the Pages, and now she's out with a newer edition called Turning New Pages. In these books, you will find her personal experiences and past life memories. The author uncovers profound lessons on self-discovery and healing. If you've ever wondered about déjà vu, the connections in our lives, and the potential for past lives to shape us, this conversation is a must-watch, and these books are must-reads. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us once again here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put her in the spotlight today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing books. The links are below this interview. Alla, great to see you here today on Spotlight. Thank you for being our guest.
Great to see you too. This is so wonderful to be invited again and be a guest on your show.
Great having you on the show. You gave us such great insight last time we spoke. Let's first talk about your new book, Turning New Pages. What's this book about?
This book is the continuation of my first book, but this is a different slant because in my first book, I was exploring my own past lives, but I was always wondering about my long-term relationship with friends. And I have some very long-term relationships. And I thought, who those people were in my life before? Why do I have some relationship very short-lived? And these kind of relationship are long-lived, and some going back to my elementary school. And I decided to explore these relationship, friendships, long-term friendships, and see who we were before. And it was a fascinating journey. Another one, but I think anybody who has friends would really be benefiting from reading this, or even just one chapter would help somebody to look at their relationship from a different point of view.
Exactly. So you feel that we'll have greater understanding if we understand where we come from. And in many cases, that means we look at the multiple lives we have led, correct?
Correct.
Do we all have multiple lives? How do we get in touch with those past existences? How do we find out more about them?
It is my belief, or even my knowing, that we all have multiple lifetimes. We, like in my first book, my suggestion to anybody who's listening is just to listen to your own intuition. Listen to this small voice inside and start exploring, start taking notes. You mentioned déjà vu. This is one of the best ones. Look at your friendships and ask yourself, who this person was in my life before. And I'm particularly not looking at family relationships. I'm looking at friendships. Yeah. My belief is that we came here to support each other, to grow, to flourish, to become better. And otherwise we would not stay in a long-term relationship as friends.
Sometimes you meet somebody and there's an instant connection. You feel like you've known them your whole life. You chat effortlessly, you talk effortlessly, you laugh easily together. You seem to be in sync and in harmony. Are those people you think that we were connected to in our past lives?
It is my belief, and I have several incidences, several lifetimes that I described exactly what you're describing. We met, we somehow knew each other, we find out that we were born on the same day, and the friendship just develops.
It's amazing. I met a stranger in a bar one night during a snowstorm. I pulled over because it was too snowy to drive, and we chatted all evening long. At the end of the night, he asked me my name, and then he said, "You don't want to say something funny?" He took out his license and showed me his name, and we had the same last name. And we had chatted like brothers all night long, which was funny. It was really one of those like, wow, we had such an instant connection. So that's kind of the thing you described. There's certain people we meet in this life that we have an instant connection with, and it's wonderful. We're blessed when we have that. Deja vu, like you said, is a great reminder. When you get that feeling you've been there before, talk to
Mhm.
us about the importance of deja vu and how we can use it to unlock who we were in the past.
Well, I think the most important is just to notice that there is deja vu. Some people, oh, just pass it on, ignore it. So my suggestion is not to ignore it, but to ask yourself, is it possible that I was here before? Or is it possible that I met this person before? Is it possible that we made an agreement? And I know it's a little bit of woo-woo, but is it possible that we made an agreement in the past to come here to meet specifically in these circumstances, like in a bar during the snowstorm, to recognize each other and to support even for a short time? But I'm pretty sure that with this man that you met, you could have developed a wonderful relationship and find out more about him, and he would learn about you.
Yeah, it was an amazing, and we're friends on Facebook now. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
seen him since that snowstorm, but it was just like we're both Crawfords and we feel like brothers. Amazing. When did you first realize that you kind of had special abilities, special talents, that you had lived prior existences?
Uh, I cannot tell you exactly where it was, but I was always curious, not always, but when I became an adult, I was curious about past existences, something. And I had a couple of near death experiences. And I think that led me to explore more. And as I was exploring this, I came across Brian Weiss, his teachings on past lives, reading his books, little by little, then going to spiritual psychology Santa Monica University. That all those steps, going to Hypnosis Institute, learning about past life through hypnosis. I think there are so many steps. I cannot really pinpoint, say that was the experience.
Right, you had an evolution
Yes.
basically over time. The spirit is widely recognized by religions. So why should we scoff at it when we hear people talk about past lives? We shouldn't. If you've been around anyone who's dying, often they will be communicating with people that they knew in the past as well.
Mhm.
So there is a very great spiritual phenomenon about each and every one of us. There's an essence to our bodies that you see once it's gone, the lack of it. So I think your work does a beautiful job in reminding us that we are spiritual beings.
Having a human experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your background in marriage and family therapy and how it has contributed your approach to past life exploration.
As a marriage and family therapist, since I was a child, I like to listen to people and give people advice. Going back to elementary, not elementary, but maybe middle school and high school. And when I came to the United States, I eventually was drawn to the school of marriage and family therapy. I saw myself listening to people, giving people suggestion and advising them. So that led me to marriage and family therapy licensing school and then licensing. But then I felt it was not enough, and then I met somebody who attended University of Santa Monica, and I knew that was a place for me because that allowed me to open my spiritual gifts, my talents, my ability to listen. It greatly increased my skills as a therapist, as somebody who can listen and who can relate to person, be empathic, compassionate, and just be supportive.
Exactly. Exactly. We're not going to always understand everything, but to be a good listener, to be aware of the multiple dimensions of a person, I think is instrumental in and invaluable in helping people with their issues and problems in life. I hear you've got some great news that your first book, Turning the Pages, is now a screenplay. Tell us about that.
Yes, I was I was inspired. I took some scripting classes before, and I was thinking, how should I put my book into screenplay on the screen. And I read screenplays, and then one of those days, I channeled the way my first book can be on a screen. And it was an amazing experience. I saw everything, how it can be arranged, how all those characters can meet, because all these people who I believe I was in previous lives, they don't know each other. So my screenplay is for them to meet each other in my presence and talk about their own lives and introduce and get to know each other. So I thought it was great. I love it.
I think it's great too. I think it's a fascinating look at this phenomenon that you write about so eloquently in your book. And to put it on the screen, the big screen, I think will be wonderful for people to absorb it better, understand it better, visualize it better, for sure. So hopefully that screenplay gets turned into a film. Hollywood, if you're listening, this is ready to go. It would be a great project. Tell us a little bit about your past lives. Tell us one or two of the people you were in the past and a little bit about them.
I'm going to talk about two past lives, one from first book and one from a second book.
Okay.
The most dear to my heart is from my first book is the story about a horse. Mm-hmm. The horse in past life was my dog in this lifetime. Mm. His name was Pepper. I adopted him when he was 3 months old through pet adoption. I had no idea, of course. I adopted him because I looked at his eyes and I said, I have to have him. I already had a dog and a cat, but something about his eyes. And when he was growing up, he started having a hip problem. So he had a hip dysplasia, a surgery, a plastic hip, limping. But we always told him, Pepper, you like a horse. His tail was like a horse tail. His legs were like horse's legs. Little did I know that he was a horse. So during one of my past life regressions in a group, I saw him as my horse. When I was writing the book, but that was long time ago. So when I was writing the book, I went into that lifetime and found out that in that lifetime, I was a cowboy somewhere in Arizona. And Pepper was my horse. But why the connection that I made between his hip and a horse? He was killed by the gunshot in his hip. And when he was born in this lifetime, he developed this hip problem. And him and I had an agreement for me to heal him and take care of him. And he lived up till he was 15.
Amazing.
And he
That's
died in my hands.
Story.
Almost like the horse that died in my hands. The dog died in my hands. So that's the most dear story to me. Yeah. And from this book, from the second book, I have so many friendship stories that I can talk about. Let me see which one I want. Okay, I'll talk about the young woman I met at one of the workshops. And she heard me talking about past lives. And then we connected and said, I don't believe in past lives. What are you talking about? I said, you know what? Get the book, read the book, and then we'll meet again. She read the book. She took copious notes. She remembered her past lives. Now we're friends. And I wrote about her in my book, even though it was a short friendship, but we connected, and she's younger than me, but we connected on a soul level. We never met in person because she lives abroad.
Amazing.
But we became very good friends. And that lifetime that we lived together in ancient Egypt, we both were high priestesses.
Wow. Amazing. It is amazing, and it's wonderful, and it's inspiring, and it is faith affirming. And all of these story folks are within the pages of Alla's wonderful books, One is called Turning the Pages. The sequel is called Turning New Pages. And through personal experiences and past life memories, the author uncovers profound lessons on self-discovery and healing. If you've ever wondered about déjà vu, connections in our lives, and the potential for past lives to shape us, these are books you won't want to miss. They're very readable, they're very enjoyable, they're very insightful, and they are highly recommended. Alla, thank you so much.
Thank you. And I just want to mention something that this year, my first book, Turning the Pages, was awarded a silver medal
Wonderful.
through Reader's Favorite Book competition. So this is an award-winning book right now. And I can't even tell you how thrilled I was when the book was awarded the silver medal.
Congratulations. I know the competition is stiff. There's a multitude of authors out there, but to stand out and to be recognized with an honor such as this, you should be very, very proud of yourself. But I must tell you, it's well deserved because, as I said before, these books are incredible, extremely well written, and extremely insightful. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.